Hello everyone, and welcome to another of my attempts at watercoloring. Guess what? I'm using the exact same paper as I used in the last one, despite all of my issues with it. This is for a couple of reasons. The first one is that I was away from home when I sketched this lady, and I really quite liked how she came out and thought, hey, maybe I'll color her. And then I was like, maybe I'll record that coloring because I wasn't sure what to do for the video for this week. The second is I actually wanted to try and watercolor on this paper again, just, I guess to see how much of my issues with it are me and my lack of watercoloring knowledge, and how much of it is actually the paper. And I also wanted to try to do things differently to get past some of those issues, at least some of the easier to spot issues. So the first thing that I tried to do differently was to use a water brush instead of a normal brush and a cup of water. This helped me get much more even washes much more easily and made the whole process much more enjoyable, so I was glad with how that turned out. Some small things that I tried to do differently were to, one, be more patient and not to worry so much over slight imperfections and to keep trying to fix them. I would just, okay, that's not great, but I'll just leave it and move on. And in the end, it really wasn't that big of a deal, so it was best just to leave it and to learn from it and not do it next time. Well, try not to anyways. I also tried to do that blushing almost the same way I did last time, where the bottom skin layer was dry, and then I came in and laid some wet layers on top with color for the blushing. This actually worked better because, one, I wasn't trying to get an even blushing layer, and was actually going for this blotchy, almost freckly appearance. And so I didn't have to worry about getting an even layer of blushing. I really liked how it turned out, and I don't know, it just made her seem a bit more alive, that added bit of texture and pattern. I actually want to try that blushing technique again and see if I can do it better. I don't know, I just really liked how that turned out. When I started sketching this lady, I actually thought she would just be a warm-up sketch. I didn't even think I would ink her. I was just kind of having fun with shapes and oh boy, I lost my train of thought. Oops. Anyways, yeah, she was just to have fun and to get my pencil going. And I thought on the next page, oh, I'll do something different, and maybe that will be for this video to record something anyways. After I decided that I wanted to watercolor her, I knew that I would run into some of the same issues, obviously, and when I faced them, I wanted to come at them with a different mindset, as I kind of mentioned before. I also decided to start to tell myself, I'm just experimenting, I want to learn more about watercolors through trial and error. It's one of my favorite ways to learn new things. And if you do it that way, if you get too caught up in worrying about it, you don't really learn much. So I was like, you can't worry too much this time. It's okay, things are going to go interestingly, and you already know some of the bad things that could possibly happen, so I could avoid some of them and kind of use some of the other things like fast drying paper to my advantage, or at least try to. when I was mixing colors, I tried to go for muted, warmish colors. At least that's, I think, what my goal was. I'm not sure how close I hit that mark because I'm quite new to mixing colors. It's really enjoyable, but quite tricky. Like, I get colors I like, but I can't really be like, oh, this is the color I want, and then go mix it. I kind of just end up with what I end up with. I think for her hair, I would have liked it to be a bit warmer and also a little bit lighter. I feel it was maybe a touch too close to her skin tone, and a bit more contrast might have been a good thing. One of my initial ideas to color her was to actually do her with ink and try ink washes and that sort of thing, a monochromatic painting. I've been wanting to try that lately, and I thought it might really suit her, but I was a little afraid to try something new when I was going to be recording it, because that's one more thing that can go wrong. And I'm trying to avoid them as many as I can. But I do hope to try that in the future, like really soon, hopefully. I just think monochromatic, the grayscale, can be so interesting, and it can help you learn, what is it called? Like how to get a good tonal range, because you're not dealing with picking colors, you're just choosing shades. And I definitely need help in that area. As you can see, my tonal ranges are not the best. You'll notice that she's holding I guess you could call it a bouquet of some sort of plant-like things. From the start I intended to do them in the gold watercolors that I have, so I didn't worry about there being line work showing through them from the hair beneath or any of that, because the gold watercolors are quite opaque, or at least I thought, and normally they are, but this time for some reason I had issues with them, which you'll kind of see. It still turned out alright, not as smooth as I would have liked, but I like the effect for the most part. Oh, another thing to note about the color for her hair is that it's actually mixed from, well, obviously a red and a blue, but these two particular pigments like to separate from each other, like very easily, even as the paint dries on the paper, and it's quite a beautiful effect. So not great if you're going for a very flat, clean wash of color, but I like the added texture in this particular area. It's always fun to see watercolors do their thing, because you never quite know exactly what they're going to do. They're so beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to learning more and using them better. All in all, I'm pretty happy with how this lady turned out. Definitely better than my last one. Not a huge improvement, but at least there was some improvement. That's always a good thing. At least, like, not taking a step backward. That's always sad when you try to take a step forward and you end up going backwards. I tend to do that because I'm kind of a lazy artist. I'm working on it, but yeah, laziness and procrastination, they don't really help. But I've noticed that doing these videos weekly really help helps with incentive to improve. Like, I want to bring in new habits to learn new things and become a better artist. One of my habits that I'm trying to work on gaining is to draw from life daily. I've never actually done this to a noticeable degree. I've just sometimes done it maybe once a month, maybe not even that. I'm very much just draw whatever comes to mind. But that only gets you so far, and I want to get past that point. I want to be able to draw more people in different poses and different angles. I want to be able to draw animals and landscapes and everything, basically. That's a lot to work on. But I'm starting small. I'm starting with, well, not small per se, but I'm starting with people because they've always been one of my favorite things to draw, just creating new characters and thinking of their stories as I draw them. That's always been one of my very favorite things to do. I have a long way to go, but I'm just glad that I've started, because I stopped drawing, when I was in my mid-teens. Not that I stopped completely, but it was just very, very casual doodling. Nothing serious. Until, as I said, I think I mentioned in a different video, I just started getting back into art early last year. And it's really been a lot of fun. It'll be interesting to see where I end up by the end of this year. I hope to have made many steps forward, or something like that. Oh, there's something weird about the paper by her shirt, that shirt area. As you can see, the paint isn't going on smoothly in certain areas, and it's, I don't know, it was almost like it was water resistant. It was weird, so I tried to kind of cover it up or camouflage it, no pun intended, by adding more texture to the shirt. I actually liked it better that way, instead of it being flat color. Like last time, the eyes were one of my very favorite parts. They're just so pretty. At least I think they are anyways. Oh, here's my attempt at that gold watercolor. And normally they work a lot better, but for some reason they were just being particular. So actually that first one was done and I was recording it, but it just wasn't working, so I stopped and I let more water sit on the paint for a while to hopefully get a better consistency. And that did help, but it didn't solve all of it for some reason. Instead of just doing one coat like I normally do, I ended up doing about 2. I was a little iffy on highlighting her for some reason. I wanted to put more highlights, like in her hair for example, but I just couldn't think of a way to do them that I would like. It's something I need to study more closely, definitely. I think after I stopped recording, I actually did attempt to do highlights, but they did not work out. I'm not sure why, but oh well. She looked okay without them, luckily. At least, I think she did. Oh, And there we are. I hope you like her and enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day.